Oh, heavy. Look at that. Big, fat, ball smallies. What is going on, guys? Today we are back with another video, and a little bit different kind of video today. I have a confession to make. I am getting burned out on the filming process, and I'm kind of getting burned out on fishing every day. It's been a long season. Been going since March 13th, pretty much filming every day. Some days getting videos, some days not getting videos. But I'm ready for ice fishing. I'm ready for the real cold to move in, and it's definitely starting to get here. But for now, we're in a boat making videos. So today's video, we went to Mille Lacs a couple days ago now. Went up there with my good buddy Dax, and wanted to make a video, but didn't want to make the multiple camera angles, polished up video that I normally try to make. This video is a little bit more raw GoPro footage of just catching some fish. And basically what we did, I've never been there this time of year, this late in the year, to Mille Lacs. Great fishery, walleye, smallmouth, and it's just got everything in it, right? Just a good place to fish. And the water temp was 36, 37, 38 degrees. Very, very cold while we were out there. And we basically went in with just hoping to catch a whole bunch of fish. And what's one of the best ways to catch a whole bunch of fish this time of year? Simply rigging a jig and a sucker. So that's what we did. We were rigging up Kalen's Google Eye 1/4 ounce jigs, some sucker minnows, and we were pitching it at a whole bunch of main lake, shallow or mid-depth structures. So enjoy some of the fish catches. Caught a little bit of everything today. Mille Lacs never disappoints. All right, we are hooked up. First fish of the day. I'm thinking we probably got a big old bass here. Just actually fished a couple spots and just kind of plopped down on kind of a cluster of boulders out here. No, it's not a small fish. Of course, it's kind of a lighter rod. There we go. Just your average Mille Lacs smallmouth right there. It's kind of surreal how many fish there are like this out here. Just your standard about 19.5 incher. And I am multi-species in it. I'm fishing a jig and a sucker minnow, which is pretty much all you need to catch fish anywhere fish live right now. There we go, number one. Let's hope for a whole bunch more of fish like that today. About as good as it gets. All right, just made another cast after my first smallmouth, and another one on here. Just an 18-inch porker. Water temp is 39 degrees, which is getting right down there, which might make it kind of a live bait thing, but it's like how everyone's gonna look today, isn't it? Pretty crazy place. The smallmouth fishing has just absolutely exploded out here, and I rarely ever fish for them out here. But a jig and a minnow always catches a little bit of everything, and just look at the belly on that guy. It is ridiculous. Super fat, super healthy. 2 casts in a row, I got fish. It might be a live bait thing today, we'll see. Oh yeah. All right guys, my GoPro is turning off because of the cold. It's a big smallie. Look at that thing, dude.
That's a 6-pounder.
I literally pitched out, got bit, missed him, and pitched out again. I don't know if there's just a few sitting behind a rock right there, but this is fun. It might be like a live bait exclusive. Look at that bass, dude. I don't know if I've ever caught a bigger smallmouth than that.
It's like a 6.5 pounder. I got my scale.
You brought your scale with?
Yeah.
All right, I've never weighed a bass before, but we're gonna weigh this one just to see what he is.
Barely had the jig in there.
Barely had the jig.
Dude.
Wow, dude, that is a toad of a smallmouth. I might actually take a picture with this bass. All right, there we go. That is probably one of the most ridiculous looking smallmouth I've ever caught in my life. Yeah, he's got a tag on him. There's no way we're gonna be able to read it though, because it's so old. Look at that thing. We're gonna kick off and go back down. 37 degree water, catching ridiculous smallmouth. So basically what we were doing to start the day, we were kind of looking for some of the big main lake points, and there's a lot of them on Mille Lacs, and what we were fishing was big rock points, right? And these points would be rock everywhere. A lot of rock like this big, some rock this big, some rock this big. But what we were doing, which is kind of a similar thing you do for smallmouth, kind of no matter where you go out on Mille Lacs, in my experience, is you look for clusters of really big rocks, like big boulder patches, right? So you might have this point that's like half a mile long by hundreds of yards wide, and it's all solid rock. But what you're looking for on side imaging is these clusters of big boulders, like 4, 5, 6 boulders all right next to each other that are like 3, 4 feet high in like 12, 13, 14 feet of water. And that's what we were doing. And whenever we were setting the hook, it was a big quality fish. All right, we are hooked up. Another fish on. Another nice smallie here. Just kind of going rock cluster to rock cluster. And I don't think it should take really a lot of casts to see if there's fish there, but it's just kind of like every time we set the hook, it's just a really big one. We have not found that freakishly large school of fish yet, but it's no joke when that's like the average size. Just on a jig and a minnow. I don't think anything besides a minnow is going to yield a whole lot of bites. There, buddy. There we go. Look at that thing. Just an absolute football. That one's only about 19 inches long, but just thick. Crazy. Let's let him go. See you later, buddy. So the next thing we did, we actually drove out across the lake, and it was super nice out. It was really cold that day. The high was like 27 or 28, but we didn't have any wind, so we went across the lake. And kind of the cool part about Mille Lacs is that it's broken up very differently. It's all, the whole lake's just a circle, but you might go to one corner, it's all sand. You might go to another corner, it's all rock. You might go out to the middle of the lake and you get the mud flats. You might go to one corner of the lake and you got really good weeds and rocks. So there's kind of a lot going on, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do, right? Each section of the lake has something different to offer. So we went across the lake, and we weren't seeing like a lot of fish on side imaging. Sometimes we'd see some, but basically what we were doing is just picking out very unique structure. You know, if you have a big main lake point that is, you know, like all sand and weeds, and then you get a big cluster of rocks right next to that weed edge, or if you get like a really big weed flat, and then there's a void in the weeds and a strip of gravel coming through on a high spot. Things like that are those little things that if you do this enough, you're like, that's a unique characteristic to the spot, right? And a lot of times we would see fish kind of just off the edge, like in that sand, or we might mark them on sonar just as they would kind of break out to stuff. But basically that's what we were doing. We were working along these big main lake points that came off of shore, running the side imaging and say, oh, that looks really unique. And we'd stop and take 3, 4 casts at it. And you can catch anything in these spots. It can be walleye, it can be smallmouth, it can be pike. I mean, just everything lives there. And there's very few things as good as catching everything late in the fall as just a jig and a minnow. And that's what we were doing, and it was a lot of fun. Fish on. That looks walleye-esque. The head shakes are saying walleye. Maybe not. Decent. Oh yeah, look at that. Frozen net, frozen line. Lake will be frozen soon. Jig, sucker, walleye. Too simple. Oh, hooked up. Bunch of them back there, huh?
Another medium.
Not freakishly big. Decent. Right on the rocks out there. It's sad when that's just like a just another 18 and a half. That's crazy. Look at that thing. He's been caught before. Hooked up. Fish on. Guessing another smallie here. Oh no. We finally got a walleye. This is one of the coolest parts of fall. A lot of times both these fish living in the same spots. And I don't want me to grab them. There we go. Oh, look at that. Jigs just fell out. We're just kind of parked up on a weed edge here. And there's rock outside of the weed edge. We're just kind of casting back at the rocks. There we go. About a 19-incher. Fish on. It's interesting.
Oh, this is a small one.
Same thing, just pitching jigs out to deeper water, bringing them back. Big bass or walleye. Almost seem kind of pike-ish.
Oh, good rock.
Now it's going.
I really hope it's a bag. Because it's going to be a big one.
I'd be surprised at this point. Moving around pretty quick. I'm gonna venture to say not small. Is that a muskie or is it just a big pike? Looked like it was about 3 feet long.
Oh my god, look at the size of that thing.
That's a big pike. Right in the nose. Like I always say, a little bit of everything in the fall. We're just barely gonna get them too. It's a fat pike. That's a good pike. I'd say. 1/4 ounce googly eye, sucker minnow. Catches everything in the lake. Beauty. Hooked up. You were on a little spot back there. It's looking walleye.
So, there's not a stitch of rock where I'm casting.
Really?
It's all sand and
It's getting bigger. Just a little bit of everything.
same size walleye. I'll just go quick. Same spot.
It's just a little pot of them back there.
Yeah.
Another walleye. Incredibly cold water. He looks like he's just frozen. Back he goes. Hooked up. Catching him now. Not a giant pike. Just kind of moving down the weed edge, and whenever we see some good rock outside of the weeds and some fish outside of the rock, spot locking down and casting at them. There's another probably 18, 19-inch smallie. About as good as it gets for end times. He's missing half a tail. Awesome. Hooked heavy. Look at this, just flat, calm out. Catching fish, water temp is 37. That is as cold as it gets. Net is a frozen block. I'll start loosening her up. Real one?
Yes, this is one we want to catch. Absolutely. The biggest one I've had on today.
Just a cluster of big boulders all right next to each other.
You're gone.
There's some big smallies in here.
Ooh. That's a real one there.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Footballs. There we go. That is a thick one. That is for sure. Look at that. Big, fat, fall smallies. I'm not even gonna say fall, it's like winter out basically. So hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed this video. This is just a quick little rundown our day on Mille Lacs. Pretty simple fishing really. It was a good time. We caught a lot of fish on camera, caught a lot of fish off of camera, and just a multi-species day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. Mille Lacs rarely disappoints. It was kind of some slower fishing for Mille Lacs really. Like I was kind of envisioning like we'd get in a pot of fish and there'd just be like hundreds of them there, but it wasn't really like that, or we didn't find that on our one day there this fall. But fun day, caught a lot of quality fish, walleyes, small, pike, a little bit of everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. I'm gonna put this camera away, finish this video, and go back on the lake here in Wisconsin and film another video. So thank you guys for watching. If you're not yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more content as we're gonna keep plugging away in the boat until we cannot anymore, and then we're on the ice. Stay tuned for more.